The ending heard round the world. The shot heard round the world. Was there a shot? Was there? All right. Spoiler alert. For those that haven't seen The Sopranos, you may want to skip this part. For those that have seen it, let's rock out for a second. When I first saw the ending like that, I was extremely caught off guard because I forgot how many episodes were remaining in that second piece of season 6. So I didn't even know it was the last episode. So when it ended, and then when you don't get, like, I'm watching it on HBO Max, and I don't get the next episode little button to click on the screen, and then the credits start coming up, and I'm just like, oh, that's the end. And I rewound it first to see if there was something that I missed. Like, did something else happen? Did I miss something? Let me go back at least like 2-3 minutes before the end. Was there something major that happened that I missed? Like, nah. I'll rewind it. I play it back real quick, and I'm just like, they really just ended it like that. What the fuck is that? Then I start having the fake fucking conspiracy theory shit in my head. Like, did they fuck up the production? What was there, like, did they get to the chopping table and all shooting and acting and production and everything was signed and sealed and everything was broken down and shipped away and everybody went back to their regular lives and they realized, like, what's supposed to be the last piece of this footage is damaged or isn't there, or we lost it, this piece of content, and we just got to chop it here? Is that what happened? I really started thinking like that and shit. Like, especially like my little fake production background from battle rap. Like, I've been in situations when we have a battle and it's like, I'm talking to one of our camera crew or somebody that produced, and it's like, yo, the audio on this piece is fucked up, or this camera view was lost, or whatever. For 9 years, I've been dealing with that. So I kind of understand how that happens in overall production. But fast forward, I'm a little bit more mature in giving things an opportunity to understand intent more than I used to be. So one thing that I did was I started YouTubing the ending to get some feedback from people that are a little bit more knowledgeable of you know, the overall storyline, you know more about the storyline than I do. People that may have, watched it multiple times and further broken down all the Easter eggs and all the moments within that last episode and everything that led up to it. I started to watch 1 or 2 of those YouTube videos, and I'm into that stuff because some of these producers and these directors out here, they do amazing stuff in these videos that either we don't know about or is extremely taken for granted. Like, if you watch a series like Stranger Things, or if you watch some of these Marvel movies, like, the Avengers movies or whatever, and you YouTube the Easter eggs that these people put into these movies or these series, it's amazing, genius shit. It really is. Like, sometimes it even ups the value of the actual content or the series or the show or the episode. When you see some of these little hidden things and gems that they placed, it's crazy what they do in Hollywood. So I watched 1 or 2 of those for the ending of The Sopranos, and instantly it gave me a lot of respect for the ending. Instantly. Because it kind of shows you the little elements that are happening leading up to that little chop of the ending like that. For example, the camera angle itself of the suspicious guy that was sitting at the counter, and the angle of when he's walking down the hallway to the bathroom, the angle of that is directly on the side of Tony Soprano, which means that when he comes out the bathroom, Tony would have to look to the side to see him, but it's almost like a blind spot, right? They're putting this awkwardness in this weird, image of this guy for a reason. Like, who is that? There's Easter eggs of the jacket he was wearing, the same jacket as the guy that killed himself, hung himself on a rope because he couldn't get out and couldn't move away and all that type of stuff. That's an Easter egg, his jacket alone. The bell that's over the door, so every time somebody comes through the restaurant door, that bell goes off. They're hitting it each time purposefully with each member of the family that comes in. It's another Easter egg with how one of the previous seasons ended, when they just, remember, I think it was like a power outage, and they ended up spending the night together as a family in their friend's restaurant where the lights was out and everything. It had a candlelit dinner. Fast forward, the Easter egg or the parallel to that is ending off a season with hopefully the family, the four of them together again, sitting down to eat. So there's a bunch of little small, like little parallels and Easter eggs in there. You know what I'm saying? And there's another one that I saw that's dope. It was a very significant part of the season when Tony was obviously shot and he was in a coma. Everything was white as he came out of the light, or out of the coma, the light. When he was in the coma and he felt like, he was at that funeral home or whatever, and he wasn't sure if he should walk in or anything like that, you saw the glooming white light start to expand. You know what I'm saying? So coming into life, or coming out of the coma, or saving yourself, that was the stuff that he was dreaming about. Like, it was kind of like him saving himself and trying to pull himself out of that coma. Everything was light. Whereas the end of this shit cut to black. The opposite, life versus death. All of these little signals of that camera work of the suspicious guy, the bell at the door. There's other little small elements as well that when I picked up on it, when I watched these breakdown videos, I was like, clever. But all of this stuff comes together to basically say he was murdered. And that's another reason why we didn't see his daughter make it all the way in to the restaurant. We just heard the bell go off. So that basically means that she was there to see her father get killed. You know what I'm saying? So the family was there, but they didn't all get a chance to sit down. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just a wild way to stir your thoughts, to make the fan base go all over the place, to speculate, to create more talk and more viewership and more sales around it. Like, it goes from me saying, what the fuck was that, to me saying that was genius. From the Easter eggs to the elements that tie to other seasons and other episodes, to the marketing of it, just like that, it went like that was an actual genius ending to me. The problem with not knowing, and why something like that gets such a negative feedback, is because you start to have an attachment. And that's what any good show is going to do. You start to have attachments to certain characters. You start to have attachments to the certain pieces or elements of the story, certain plots and twists. You start to get invested. There's shows out here where certain characters die and you feel damn near distraught, like it's real life. When Stringer died in season 3, I was like, what the y'all took Stringer out? Like, really? Y'all gonna... I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It hits you. And that's what good shows and good development of these pockets is supposed to do. That's what it's supposed to do. So when you got 6 seasons of this highly touted, critically acclaimed show that's rolling out, I'm talking about when it was debuting, not now when I seen it with a late pass, but when it's rolling out, all these seasons, and the show goes across years of rolling out. You develop these attachments. There's women that are in the same position as Carmela, maybe a cheating husband or whatever. There's families that's in these situations that have, daughters that are, going in and out of these relationships, and it's hard to watch them through their ups and their downs. Or maybe their son, is suicidal, or he starts to question the world, or he's acting out at home and all this. There's these things that people can relate to in real life. They say art imitates real life, right? So I get it. When you have an ending like that, people have already built such an attachment to this show and to these characters, where it's just like, oh, no. You're not going to give me closure? Oh, no, fuck this. It's going to be an outrage. But that within itself could be genius. Because if I create an outrage, and if I create all these talking points, that's marketing, of course, like through the roof, but you're going off kilter. You're going off the norm of like, I'm not just going to show you Tony Soprano walking off into the sun or getting shot, or if he finally stops cheating, or I'm not going to show that to you. Instead, I'm just going to boom, do this. And I'm going to be unconventional about it after making you come through 6 seasons of this show that you fell in love with. So I really developed a deep appreciation, respect for it. And I think it's genius now, the ending. And I expected it for me to hate it. And like I said, at first I did. I was like, what the fuck? But it took me, a little bit of open-mindedness to wait, hold on, let me follow up a little bit. Let me do a little bit more homework. Let me see the stuff that I may not have missed, and listen to some of these videos of people that really are entrenched in Sopranos and know all these different tie-ins and whatnot. Because I only watched it once. I know you miss a lot. Let me see what they saying, and then it's like, oh, it was genius.